Alright, hello everybody, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm in San Diego, California, and today's date is January 25th, 2016. Okay, before I get to the subject matter of this particular video, and it's going to be detailed, so, and very descriptive, so, if you're a child or a teenager, do not watch this video, okay? Just trust me on that. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I'm going to make a statement, because this is part of the security strategies that I use in order to protect myself and to expose the intentional staged criminality that is perpetrated against me, achieved through, but not limited to, the illegal GPS tracking of my cell phone and covert physical surveillance that is directly connected to the crime that is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, when we look at, before I segue into the subject matter of this video, I have to also make some additional statements so you can understand why the meat and potatoes are being described the way they are. Hold on, I just got to this area, so let me take a couple puffs off my cigarette real fast. Hold on. I hate smoking on video. But like I've said in other videos, when I make a video, I gotta do it when I got the time to do it, and it's usually when I'm coming back from one place to another, and I got a moment to do it in between things I gotta do. So, alright, so check this out. All my descriptions can be Googled and or YouTube, depending on the description of each subject matter. Each subject matter, each description will build upon itself in order for you to be able to at least get some type of pictorial representation pertaining to the theme of the subject matter. Hold on. So basically what I'm saying is a foundation that's going to lead up to the subject matter, so you can research each description, okay? And then synthesize the material that comes up, and you will see, I'm telling you the truth, because what I'm going to be stating is all over the internet. Now, the beginning of this foundation is to inform you that when you go to Google and you type in psychiatric detention, falsified arrest, falsely and criminally petitioning the target into county mental health, an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor, forcing them to see a psychiatrist in a detention center, jail, or prison after they've been illegally and criminally arrested based on a staged event achieved through, but not limited to, the GPS tracking of the target's cell phone and covert physical surveillance. They will then absolutely label the target individual as having some type of mental illness, and or state that they're a threat to themselves or others. And this is done in order to discredit the target for multiple different reasons, including, trying to discredit the truth the target is exposing by discrediting their mental stability. And these are actual, literal techniques of this crime that are all over the internet. So the people that have the control to do something like that are nurse administrative staff, doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, law enforcement, fire department, EMS, regular ambulatory system services, and any other type of description that will aid and abet in this. So, because of that, I'm going to make my following statements carefully. Read between the lines. Hold on. Because they will take a target individual's statements and attempt to use them against them. Alright, so here we go. Targeted individuals of this crime have been covered on national radio shows, which I've even been on. Even in a national TV show like The Brain Invaders with Jesse Ventura, which can be YouTubed. We've been covered on national, local news broadcasts. Okay, so you can go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? That's a title of a blog. There's massive evidence in it, and I guarantee you right now, if you go to that blog, you'll be glad you did. Absolutely. So, and there are there are quite a few of the links of the national radio shows that I've been on in that blog, and some additional ones concerning this crime. Hold on. Alright, now, most people have not even heard of this crime. Okay? Because it's not covered on the news the way it should be. And that's mostly because our national media services are owned by 6 corporations, syndicated ones. Does the State Department have any influence over the media, including newspapers? Google it. Now, I'm going to make some descriptions here, especially if you've never even heard of gang stalking or organized stalking before. Same crime, just goes by multiple different names, and it's not stalking by gangs. Okay? If you've never heard of this crime before, and then you hear the following descriptions, you might think to yourself, this woman's crazy, or what the hell is she talking about? So this video is being made for mature audiences. Do what I tell you to do and research what I state, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth, because what I'm going to state is all over the internet. See, you can't know that a specific crime is going on if you don't have the name of it. If you don't have the name of it, you can't research it to see how it operates, right? Okay? So, keep that in mind and research what I state. And here it goes. There are specific types of technologies that can be used against any specific targeted individual of this crime. I'm going to name a few of them, give you some websites to go to. So these descriptions can be researched more immediately. The research you come up with will lead you to other links and websites, which is good. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm going to give you some YouTube titles and some website links. Are you ready? Surveillanceissues.com, bugsweep.com, Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance, UnitedTargetIndividualsEurope.com. That can be Googled and YouTubed. And when you YouTube them, look for the extended version of their video. Remote Neural Monitoring, the Microwave Hearing Effect, B2K, which stands for Voice to Skull, the Neural Phone, okay, Silent Sound Spread Spectrum. Now, fellow American citizens, basically what I'm going to do to you right now is I'm going to also Inserted Dreams, which is a capability of remote neural monitoring, and combined with it, what is known as virtual reality productions and augmented reality productions. Now, just hear me out. Now, as a result of remote neural monitoring being used against any specific target individual, they can literally hack into the target individual's brain. Understand that patents for this technology and PDF links, they're all over the internet, and YouTube it as well. Extensively YouTube it and Google it. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth, because it's right there, baby. Okay? Target individuals can also be neurally implanted. They can also be subject to not just neural implants like brain-to-computer interface implants, but they can also be implanted with prosthetic implants. Let's see, there's BCI implants, EMG implants, prosthetic implants. Google every description. So, there's also a technique called heterodyning that can be perpetrated against target individuals. Are target individuals, specific selected ones, are they being subjected to non-consensual human experimentation, including non-consensual military human experimentation, DARPA, and the DoD? Target individuals' internet activity and their phone activity, everything that they do in using any type of electronics means, faxes, phones, computers, the computer anywhere, the phone no matter where they're at or where they buy it from. Also, also any type of mail service that the target individual will use, okay, is scrutinized along with faxes. Okay, this is done for an analysis purposes in reference to the perpetrators, so they can ascertain what's being attempted to be communicated, so they can make a threat assessment or a benefit analysis. Basically use what they're doing against them, or see what they're doing to see if it's a threat towards them. You can also go to Google and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking in isolation. Okay? Alright, so check this out. there's a technique that is incorporated within the remote neural monitoring with added features that are called, but not limited to, what is known as augmented reality productions and virtual reality productions. When you research remote neural monitoring by Googling it first and then YouTubing it, do both of them combined, but read it first. That way you'll be able to see the patents for it. You'll be able to see a pretty good description concerning the capabilities of it, and that way you'll be able to automatically deduce that these are patented technologies that are all over the internet to be described as actual technology that exists in space and time that's being used. In fact, a good website to go to after you research this concerning remote neural monitoring is also go to Google and type in remote neural monitoring space biotronics, because if that website is still up, it gives you a pretty good description concerning all the different aspects of what remote neural monitoring can monitor. Physiological signals, EEG signatures, emotional clusters, brain states. You can also go to Google and type in brainwave frequency list. Do it. And brain stimulation. Alright, so concerning the inserted dreams, which are basically called artificial dreams, which is even flat out, right out mentioned in the remote neural monitoring file, what they can basically do is take what is known as a physical body video image, extremely high definition of the target individual. Just like when you go to the movies and you see a movie, you see people interacting on the screen as you're watching a movie. They're playing out a role. Well, that's a production. It's got verbal and physical theatrics in order to bring about the scripts that bring about the story. Now, this is exactly what virtual reality and augmented reality productions are. Nothing but where they take a physical, biological, extremely high definition, sophisticated video picture of the target individual. So their body image, everything, face, hair, from head to toe. Okay, usually from a distance. Okay, and once they got this body image captured, they can then insert it within these virtual reality. I'm just going to say virtual reality, so I don't have to mention both of them. But remember, virtual reality and augmented reality productions. And basically what they can do is incorporate the target individual's physical body image to play within the video productions that they then make up, just like you would make a movie, where other physical images are interacting with the target, including animals. Okay? They can also make video productions of people being tortured, raped, murdered, including kids and animals, while the target individual is in the same room as it's occurring, while they got the target individual's body reacting to it. This is once the video production has been made, they can then streamline that video production into the target individual's video cortex, so the consciousness experiences it while they're watching themselves play a role in the production, because their body image has been incorporated within it. Scripts are basically written out pertaining to each body image that is incorporated within the theater, and boom, it's literally like watching a movie in your head with you even being in the movie. This is why they're called virtual reality productions and augmented reality productions. So all you got to do is go to Google and type in artificial dreams and gang stalking, remote neural monitoring, dream insertion and gang stalking, organized stalking, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth, because it's all over the internet. In fact, if you go to YouTube right now and you type in Timothy W. bioethics issues, listen to what he's saying about neurocognitive weapons and brain entrainment. But when you bring that video up, what you also want to do is look at the videos that are to the right in the column of YouTube videos that are to the right of the host video once you bring that up. And if you watch enough of those are target individuals testifying before the Bioethics Commission in 2011 and 12 at least. If you watch enough of them, you will hear target individuals talk about dream insertion, okay, or artificial dreams, and you will also hear target individuals, at least one or two, talk about augmented reality and or virtual reality. Now, there's another type of technology called V2K, which is voice to skull, which is basically nothing but an artificial intelligence program that has been incorporated within a mainframed. It's all over the internet that it's being called quantum computers, which I would not doubt at all. And basically what this is where they will incorporate voice prints within a computer. Anywhere between 2 to 3 to 5 different voice prints of individuals. Like when you go to the U-Scan in a grocery store where you scan your own groceries and then the little computer is telling you what to do next, that's a voice print. Okay? So with V2K and the microwave hearing effect and V2K microwave hearing effect incorporated within the same computer that the remote neural monitoring is in, which it has the ability to be able to read your subvocal speech, which is basically your internal dialogue of your thoughts, okay, that are being read by the remote neural monitoring in real time through the evoked potentials and through subvocal speech. As a result, the computer that is running on trillions of flops per second, much faster than the brain is processing, okay, it's able to read what is being processed. The computer will then select a specific tailored scripts to transmit back to the target individual for the target individual to hear either in using V2K or what is known as alpha wave transmissions, where voices are popping around the target individual's environment. That's why a lot of target individuals will think that their neighbors are harassing them, even though neighbors can play a role in gang stalking, because they think that neighbors are standing outside their windows or their doors, even though neighbors can do this as well when it comes to gang stalking. Now, you might think to yourself, this all sounds crazy. It's all over the internet, including the patents of this technology. It's been talked about on national radio shows, national TV shows, and you can also go to YouTube and type in synthetic telepathy and gang stalking and look for an MSNBC news coverage pertaining to some men in Palm Springs that were covered. That's another thing that they do to target individuals. Now think to yourself this. Think if you you know that you were raped as a result of being a gang stalking victim. This technology can also stimulate the memory of that traumatic event. Okay, so go to Google and type in remote neural monitoring stimulating memories, brain stimulation. Play around with the keywords a little bit and you'll bring it up. So you can see that that is a literal feature of this criminality. Because basically what these perpetrators want to do is make you relive these horrific experiences by stimulating the neural pathway that holds the memory of them. And as that is occurring, because they know they're responsible for stimulating this memory because they want you to experience it. At the time you're experiencing it, they're watching it on the monitor, you experiencing it. They're watching your brain states, how you're reacting to it. They're watching your emotional clusters, your EEG signature fluctuations. They're seeing in your physiological signals in reference to how you're reacting to it and your thoughts. What they will do as this memory is being stimulated is they will transmit either through alpha wave transmissions and or V2K dialogue to harass you about what you're experiencing as a result of this memory being stimulated. So let's say if you've been raped as a result of being a gang stalking victim and they stimulate that memory of that rape or an assault. As the target is experiencing that memory, they will transmit to the target for the target to hear either through V2K and or the alpha wave transmissions dialogue sets like, did you have him raped? How could you do this to him? He's got to learn who's boss. Let's see, what else would they possibly transmit? How could you do this to him? What's the matter with him as they're experiencing it? Now, fellow American citizens, I want you to think about this really clear. When the target individual is selected to be a target individual, massive, horrific criminalities happen to a target. Every aspect of their lives is completely torn down. They are kept trapped in this isolated campaign of nonstop terror and extreme civil and human rights violations, sometimes on a daily basis. While if that specific target individual is also being bombarded with this technology, and if these aforementioned types of crimes are happening to them and have, can you imagine dealing with this on a daily basis, including while you're homeless, including while the law enforcement that's syndicated to these crimes is arresting you for illegal lodging, illegal trespassing, illegal encroachment, even though the gang stalking crime created the homelessness of you, and they won't investigate none of it because they're directly connected to it, and or taking orders from the syndicate that's responsible for it, and or connected to it. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Now, we all know that our veterans who served our military honorably are nothing but flat-out absolute heroes. who have come back from their war experiences with post-traumatic stress. They deserve every bit of every single type of help that they can give. And I'm going to interject this as well, too. I have nothing against immigrants at all. Okay? If all of us and any of us look in our family trees, we will discover that eventually some of our ancestors were immigrants. Because we all came here from somewhere. But when we look at what's going on in the current affairs of our political system and how they're letting all these illegal immigrants come over here now and being given benefits while veterans are being denied every type of benefit that you can think of, some of them even being persecuted by the government, while they're walking around trying to deal with post-traumatic stress as a result of what they went through as a result of serving their country. If you had any idea what a veteran and anybody else that's got post-traumatic stress goes through, okay, these filthy rat-ass animals, sewer rat whores, part of their campaign is to intentionally create post-traumatic stress. That's why you'll see a lot of targeted individuals' blogs and YouTube videos titled Gang Stalking Psychological Operations, because the filthy maggots, okay, that created these horrific criminal expeditions want to get up in the head for the burn entrainment. Okay, so you can Google on YouTube burn entrainment and gang stalking. You'll eventually understand what it is. Okay. And I'm sorry I keep looking back behind me, but I gotta watch my back because these filthy rats have had homeless people approach me and assault me so many times. It's crazy, and that's it. That's actually what I meant to say. I think I said it at the beginning of this video, but just in case I didn't, if anybody approaches me as I'm making this video or after it's shut off, after the videotape stops, it'll be directly connected to gang stalking, no matter how they act verbally, no matter who it is, and no matter what transpires as a result. Hold on. Now, every single thing that I've described to you in this video is all over the internet. It is all over the internet. In fact, when you go to YouTube and you type in UnitedTargetedIndividualsEurope.com, I'm sorry, United Targeted Individuals Europe, pay attention to the extended version. You'll not only notice Americans being part of some of the targets in this video, but you'll also be able to get a view what some of the implants look like. This is also a type of crime that intentionally lets you know and reminds you constantly in one way or another that you are a victim of it. Let me tell you another example of what these little filthy sick rats will do. They'll literally bait a woman or a young man or even a child into an isolated area and have them gang raped, videotape it, and play it back into their video cortex, while they're being harassed about what they're experiencing with V2K or alpha wave transmissions. Now, fellow American citizens, you might hear this and you might think to yourself, all this stuff sounds crazy. It sounds insane. Google it. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of targeted individuals all over the internet and all across the country in every state in the United States begging for help. In fact, to give you an example, they won't just physically rape you, they can also electronically rape you. And as crazy as that sounds, let me explain it to you a little bit so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, but first let me light a cigarette. And just remember, all you gotta do is, when you're done watching this video, is just go back and watch it piecemeal, bit by bit. Write down the descriptions, okay? You can even tape record my descriptions and then play them back. And like if you got some really good features on your phone or your computer, you can do what is known as a voice to text and then print out my statements. So you can then go back and say, okay, I researched this, I researched that, I researched this, and then cross-reference what comes out. Now, let me light a cigarette. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain another thing to you. And I'm having a white outside. I forgot what it was, but it'll come back to mind in a second. Oh, they'll also murder our pets. I had a cat named Higgins. Okay? She was my baby. I got her when she was just weaned from her mother. I brought her home and we both shared a fudgesicle on my bed and fell asleep. I woke up with poop in my bed. She was my baby. I had her for over 12 years. They entered my apartment when I wasn't home and poisoned her, and she died a slow death in my arms. So I named my Twitter account that I use in part to expose these filthy criminal rats at Higgins, GGGGG. That's my Twitter handle. In memory of that cat. She was a good she was my baby. They literally entered my home and poisoned my cat. No, until I can remember what I was going to talk about, and I apologize, I had a whiteout about that. I'm going to make a couple other statements here. Let me check the batteries. Okay, now the battery light is flashing, so if this video stops abruptly, like even when I'm in the middle of talking, that's what happens, so don't dismiss this video. Okay? Think about this as well. For the amount of people that are being subjected to this horrific criminality, the only way that this could continue or even get to the size that it's gotten is through federal involvement and federal protection. And also know this, human trafficking rings and prostitution rings are directly connected to these perpetrators as well, pertaining to what they end up doing to targets. I witnessed it before my eyes in Michigan. Did they do it to me in Michigan? Did they attempt to do it to me in Connecticut? And have they mildly attempted to do it to me so far in San Diego? People that I don't even know. Had never had any relationship with them in any way, shape, or form. I don't hang around anybody, not a soul. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't sleep around, I don't steal, I stay to myself everywhere I go. I'm not a threat to myself or others, I'm not suicidal, I'm not homicidal, I'm not violent in any way, shape, or form. But I am harassed every day, everywhere I go. So go to that blog, I'll mention the title of it again. But UCSD and Law Library are the networking gang stalking. Oh, in part, you can also go to YouTube and type in Alex Jones space Thanksgiving show. He's got a guest on there, a professor from UC Davis, who's being gang stalked. Listen to all the bullshit. It's not bullshit, but that was just the way it came out. Listen to all the stuff he's exposing. Gang stalking. The mind control, which is the remote neural monitoring, the microwave hearing effect, and more. Now, I was gang stalked all over UCSD campus. And let me tell you another damn thing right now. The California Attorney General, Kamala Harris, she's got it on her website concerning human trafficking. So does the District Attorney of San Diego. Okay. Yet they are, the California Attorney General is also the legal advocate for the University of California systems, including SDSU. I was gang stalked all over UCSD campus and SDSU. And the harassment, the verbal harassment, was identical to a T. So go to that blog. So I tweeted that little criminal rat many times, evidence, complaining to her about what was happening to me. And guess what happened to me as a result? I got banned from UCSD. And an event occurred at SDSU too. Those little criminal rats who take our tax dollars, and these universities are also tax subsidized, which means that California and San Diego County residents pay for the operations of these campuses from head to toe, take our tax dollars to fund them, while they're using these universities for extreme criminalities. And the victims of them don't get no assistance, no crime victim assistance at all. And then they turn around and will use their jobs and law enforcement working covertly together. Will they use their jobs and their connections to law enforcement to protect these criminal realities and to completely vilify and nullify the target individual? Absolutely. Because the only thing these universities care about at the end of the day is dollars. And the image of a university very much so assists in the preservation of these dollars coming in. Make no mistake about it. Remember the Penn State thing? The hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that they're even still losing to this day because of Jerry Sandusky? And Eastern University in Michigan, the Laura Dickerson case? Universities ain't nothing but a bunch of whores run by criminals. I know it for a fact. So, imagine you being a victim of this crime, made homeless, and then put in an illegal syndicated run organized crime group home as a result of the state taking probate control of you and putting you in these homes where you're raped every night in your sleep. Go to YouTube and type in Stockton, San Antonio. Okay? Review the Stockton, San Antonio aspect of the blog. UCSD and Law Library are they networking gang stalking. They also will apply for federal, state, and local funds in the target's name once they get the probate control, and massive insurance fraud occurs. Massive the RICO Act violations, racketeering and slavery. That's right. So imagine being put in a home with your freedom completely taken away from you. The gang stalking of you continues in these homes while you're raped in your sleep as they videotape it and sell it to pornography groups. This is literally what they do. Oh, also go to Google and YouTube and type in John Hall Satellite Terrorism. Extensively review him, and he's also been on Alex Jones. So, my name is Leslie Williams. What I do is expose these filthy maggot rats for what they truly are. Nothing but absolute criminals. So imagine these crimes happening to you while you cannot get no help from nobody, because the very places you should be able to get help from, they're connected to. Your whole life taken from you by rats, by the worst of the worst. They're also connected to snuff films, which means they'll murder you, videotape it, and sell it. Can you imagine what they're doing to victims' kids, including infants? And there's a strong possibility these motherfuckers are connected to baby breeding rings for illegal adoptions and pedophile rings. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth. Now, I'm going to try and interject a couple more last statements, but again, if this video stops while I'm in the middle of talking, it's because the batteries are in out, so please still research what I've stated. When you look at how easy it is for these filthy rats to easily pay off low-life mothers that they use, homeless men of any kind, punks, and other low-life criminals. See, when they make you homeless, you have no front door. Through the illegal GPS tracking of you and your cell phone and the covert physical surveillance, they know where you're at all times. They will then prop up an individual who will act like they're stumbling across you, okay, assault you, rob you, rape you, take your things from you, and even make the assault so bad they believe that it will provoke you to call the police, allow time for the perpetrators to leave. The police will wait and not answer the 911 call until after they know that the perpetrators have left, because once the perpetrators have left, they call the middleman, who then calls the syndicated cops and say, okay, they're gone. The police arrive, and they'll arrest the target for illegal lodging, illegal encroachment, or trespassing, or force them to move. And then the courts will be used to put the target in jail for these aforementioned descriptions, and then they will also try to attempt to use the homelessness as a reason for illegal probate control by claiming the target can't take care of themselves because they won't get out of the homelessness, even though they've been offered services by us, even though these services are completely syndicated and or absolutely covertly influenced. So you can Google churches and gang stalking, homeless shelters and gang stalking, women's shelters and gang stalking, domestic violence shelters and gang stalking, charities and gang stalking, Salvation Army and gang stalking, any type of charities you can think of. Do it. We have nowhere to run. Social services and gang stalking, Social Security and gang stalking. We literally have nowhere to run to. Organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and county level, working as a network syndicate that is directly connected to organized crime that's in the neighborhoods. And now you got it. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and I am a target victim and activist concerning these criminal realities. If I disappear, the persons that have been identified in that blog are directly connected to it. Remember it. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego. Thank you for listening. These video predictions apply for the next 60 days, no matter where I'm at, especially at any camping or resting areas. Thank you.